Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we are just gonna sit and talk and reflect on 2018 and close it off and just talk about what we want for 2019. This is not gonna be like what you should make your New Year's resolution or anything. This is just me talking to you as a friend. Just reflecting, because 2018, I don't want to say was a bad year, but it was definitely a challenging year. It was a year of change and new beginnings and closed doors and new opportunities and lost opportunities and so many things. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're here for the second, third, fourth, fifth time, thank you guys so much for coming back. I truly, truly appreciate you so much. So, okay, let's just get into it. So first and foremost, this is a super casual video. I don't have notes. It's funny because I tried like planning out what I wanted to say or like have at least an outline of what I wanted to say, and nothing could come to me, like nothing. This year was a very emotional year for me. And I think what I'm doing to prepare for 2019 is just like clearing everything out, like literally. Today is, what's today? Sunday. Today's Sunday the 30th, and Taz and I went to church early this morning at 8, and I got home and I was like, I want to clean. And I literally cleaned out our entire apartment, and everything has a spot now. I decluttered a bunch of things. Like I literally went through every cabinet in the kitchen, like scrubbed it down, organized everything, you know, like the pans that like just pile up, and the Tupperware, and just like the shaker cups, and just like things don't have a spout. And you know, I truly believe that if your environment is like cluttered and messy, then you are just gonna feel that way. So that's literally what we did today. Everything is clean. All we have to do is just broom and mop. But our robot sweeper dude, Winston, he's dead, so he's charging, and we'll do them tonight, and then we'll mop tomorrow morning. But I just wanted to come on here and just kind of close 2018. I thought that I would just kind of talk about everything that happened in 2018 and how I feel about it and what I feel moving forward. So 2018 was, for me, a big year. Taz and I moved to Houston in February, and we've been trying really hard to make this our home. And I traveled a lot in the beginning of the year with bodybuilding.com and Optimum, and it was fantastic. I had so many amazing opportunities this year. I met so many people, but then I also lost a lot of people. And I think if I think about like putting a word to this year, it would have to be heartbreak, like the overarching word. You know, like I did have a lot of great moments throughout the year, and I'm so blessed to have them, but I did lose a lot of people, and the heartbreak might have not been romantically, but it was definitely on the friendship side. I lost a lot of friends that I thought were friends, and we're not going to get into it because it's not about that. But you know, it's just, for me, it's just letting those people go. I feel like this past year I've cared way too much about certain people and what they thought of me, and like trying to prove them wrong with their beliefs. And I've wasted a lot of time, and I wasted a lot of my energy that I could have been putting into other relationships that see me for who I am and not for what they think I am. I hope that makes sense. But that's something I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go of all of the relationships that I hold so high, you know. And we went to church this morning, and we had a guest pastor. His name was Daniel Grove, I believe, and he just spoke to me, man. I didn't think I was gonna cry at church today, but it was good. Pretty much, he was just talking about how some of us might have been turned off this past year, and for me, I don't know that I was turned off, like literally on and off. He had a word for it. Hold on, let me look at my notes real quick. He said that some of us were living like deactivated. We were just living in a shell. And you know, that hit home for me because I felt like I was doing so many things, and I was just not me. Like something was missing. And I feel like I went through those heartbreaks, and I went through those relationships, and all these other things, like with my business and Lavavi, and all these hardships that like really made me a stronger person. It's just like, now that I look back at it, I had to go through all those things, because for me, I am a very like, let's see it, like a, what's what I'm looking for? I'm a very impatient person, right? And so another thing he said, the pastor today, was that once you give something up to God, like give it all, like that's it. And that's one thing that I did not do this year. I kept thinking like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? God, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? And I kept questioning it. And that's one thing I'm going to work on in 2019 is just giving it all to God and just literally giving it all to God and not question it and still continue to work, but have the faith that things will work out the way they need to. One thing that I want to do in 2019, well, a couple things, is I want to put myself first. I think in 2018, I really learned how to do that. And I really learned how to listen to what I want for me and not for other people, or not for what I think people are going to like, or people are going to like literally like on Instagram. And I've realized that I am much happier when I listen to me and not what I think other people would want. So that's one thing that I want to do. I think that 2018 was definitely a stepping stone for me, like a giant stepping stone. I actually have, if you guys have been following me for a little bit, I actually wrote myself a letter last year, and I am kind of scared to read it because I know that I didn't do, or I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. And you know, part of me like hates that, but then part of me is also like, okay, well, if you didn't achieve it, it's not like you weren't working towards it, it just didn't happen. And that's fine, because it's not on my timing, it's on God's timing. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons I need to learn. And I realize that this video probably doesn't make any sense at all, but this is just what I feel in 2018 and how it's impacted me. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of weary of writing myself another letter for 2019. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I wrote myself a letter at the end of 2017 that I was supposed to read this year at the end of 2018 to see how my year went. I'll probably read it. I'll probably read it tomorrow. But I'll probably write another one and compare, because, you know, I feel like I've learned a lot this year, and I now know what I need to do for next year, if that makes sense. I don't know, this year was just like a blur, to be honest. I just can't even believe that it's done. I feel like we just moved to Houston yesterday. I'm kind of like baffled at the whole thing because it doesn't feel like a year went by. But I am very, very excited for 2019. And I don't have many like set plans. I know that I'm going to the LA Fit Expo at the end of January, and then I think probably other expos, but I am gonna try to bring back the retreat, because we did have to cancel it just for some scheduling purposes. But that's one thing that I want to accomplish this year, is have that retreat and maybe some more. I do want to have the MBS Fest here in Houston in February, and maybe some other cities, we'll see. But I want to do that, and I want to get Lavavi off the ground. You guys know after my baby, and I think it's finally going to happen in 2019. I want to have a couple launches. Like, I want to be a running business. I want to continue to grow the YouTube community. I want to be able to provide valuable information to you guys and not just be a girl on YouTube. You know, I want to continue to make an impact, because that's what brings me joy. Helping you as best as I can is literally my passion. So that's what I want to do in 2019. I think that wasn't a fart, that was way to ruin the moment, Yami. One of my biggest things for 2019 is I want to get closer to God. I want to spend more time with Him. I want to read my Bible. I want to get in the Word, because for me, what I've noticed is that when I'm in a state of like trouble, if something's happening in my life, whether it be like physical or emotionally or with a friend or whatever, I go to outside sources first, right? And the one source that I need to go to first is God and in prayer, right? And that's always been like the last resort when it should be the very first. And I'm definitely getting better. But that's one thing that I really want to do in 2019. I just want to continue to better myself as a person. I want to read more books. I want to listen to more podcasts. I want to be less busy. That's also what I want to do. I think that in 2018, I realized the power of rest. And it was towards the end of the year where I figured out how to schedule my life and how to be more organized. And well, I feel like I've always known how to be more organized, but what I was doing wasn't working for me. So in 2018 is when I really found like a workflow and a scheduling system that worked for me, and I'm excited to execute it and keep using it in 2019 to see how that changes like my work, and my YouTube videos and my coaching and everything. So like I mentioned earlier, like 2018 was really like a learning year. I learned how to speak to my manufacturers, so to get through like those struggles that I had. I learned how to schedule my time more efficiently. I learned different systems to put into place for me and my business. I learned that I need to rest because if I don't rest, my body is not very happy. And one thing that Taz mentioned yesterday is that I finally found balance in terms of food and my workouts. He mentioned that 2 years ago I was fully immersed in like the bikini world, the bodybuilding world, and that was great. But then I always felt like something was missing. And so I brought in the yoga, and then I brought in the HIIT training and the kettlebells. And now I have a different approach to fitness for me, and what I enjoy and what my body thrives of. So like I mentioned, 2018 was definitely a year of learning. And I know that we say that every year is a year of learning, but I think that 2018 was like a big year of learning for me. And while I did have those hardships and those heartbreaks, I don't regret any of it because, and this is so cliche to say, but I guess it's a cliche for a reason, right? Those moments made me who I am. And I'm so glad I was able to get out of the relationships that I got out of now before they were too deep, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I hate that those relationships ended, but like I said in one of my other videos, I can't force someone to see my point of view or change their mind or whatever the case is. So I know this video probably makes no sense, but I just really wanted it to be like me talking to a friend and not like scripted and edited. And I just wanted to be real because for me, reflecting on a past year and as we move into a new one, it's very sentimental for me, and it's very nostalgic, and I get very emotional, especially when the New Year's Eve song comes on. So should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Anyway, sorry. Speaking of New Year's, Taz and I will be working on New Year's Eve. So when you watch this video, send us some love because we're going to be at the restaurant working till like 3 a.m. So funny story, they actually scheduled me to work in the morning and Taz to work at night. And I was like, why would you do that? Schedule me with my boyfriend. I want a kiss at midnight. I need my kiss at midnight. So I ended up swapping with another coworker so that now I'm working nights with Taz. So come midnight, I'm going to hop over the bar and be like, kiss me. Because like I said, I want to be with my boyfriend on midnight. But I'm probably missing a lot of things that I wanted to say, and I probably should have written stuff down. But like I said, I just want it to be like you and me chatting it up and just tell you how I feel. And if you guys want to keep the conversation going, tell me what your biggest thing was in 2018 and what you hope for 2019. I'm hopeful. Every year I am hopeful for the new year, and I'm really excited for the reset and the restart. And I know that you can do this, any day of the year, but that January 1st is just like a little bit more extra for me and a little more motivation. So I hope it's the same for you. If you haven't like cleared out your closet or whatever, maybe take some time today to clear out your closet, clean out your kitchen. Don't go crazy and clean the entire house, but just start the year off a little bit more decluttered. I think that's it. Actually, no, there's one more thing that I wanted to mention that I wanted to let go of in 2018. I want to let go of the anxiety that I have. I do still struggle with anxiety, maybe not so much as a past couple months ago. I think I've been able to control it a little bit more, but that is one thing that I really, really, really want to let go of in 2018. With that, that's putting God first, I think, for me, because my anxiety stems from not knowing what's going to happen in the future or not knowing anything, So yeah, I think that's it. That's going to wrap up this video. That made absolutely no sense at all. Let me know what you think was like your biggest learning in 2018 and what you hope 2019 will bring you. Like I said, 2018 for me was like a year of learning, and I hope that 2019 is a year of execution, you know what I mean, and actually making things happen. Because I do feel like I made some things happen last year, but like I said, the letter that I wrote to myself last year, I'll read it again next year. I'm just kidding. I'll read it again this year, but I just have so many goals that I want, and I'm hoping that 2019 we'll see those goals come to life. So that's it. Again, I apologize if this made no sense at all, but I just wanted to chit chat with you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Please, please, please be safe. I hate being that person, but don't drink and drive. If you drink, don't drive. Call an Uber, let go of the keys, do something, but please, please, please do not drink and drive. Please be safe. There's so much life ahead of you, and I would hate for somebody to get in an accident because they're drinking. That's not what this video is about, but it's just like something that I really am passionate about. So please, please, please don't drink and drive. I hope you have the best time, whatever it is that you do. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in 2019. Happy New Year.